Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Biology Today for you. Keep learning, make your basics strong. So it's lockdown people, we cannot go out, we cannot go to our coaching, and all of us are worried about because this is a very crucial year for the class 12 student. This is your board year, so you need to utilize your time and prepare while you are at home. Some of the students might not have their books along with them, but don't worry. Keep tuned, stay tuned with Biology Today for you, and I'll be making you understand biology very simply and very innovatively. Also, you can prepare your notes side by side while going through the video lecture. You can pen down the points as such and prepare your own handwritten notes. So without any delay, let's get started. One more thing everyone, that this is the lecture 2 for chapter number 1 class 12 biology. Lecture number 1 is already there on the channel. You can go and check it out for better understanding. I have already mentioned the link for lecture 1 in the description box. Go and check it out. And without any delay, let's proceed to lecture number 2. Next we have is phases of life, that is our life or any organism on this earth has to undergo these three phases of life, that is growth phase, reproductive phase and senescent phase. What does it mean? It means number one, it means that any organism on earth has to undergo, it is like our life is divided into three different phases. Every organism's life is divided into three different phases. These phases are number 1 growth phase, number 2 reproductive phase, number 3 senescent phase. First we have growth phase. Growth phase is basically a phase where morphological and physiological changes takes place. In this phase, an organism's body grow and leads to many morphological and physiological changes which will help in reproductive phase. Now, the period of growth in animals is basically known as juvenile phase, and the period of growth in plants is known as vegetative phase. I repeat, growth phase is a time or is a period of growth where various morphological and physiological changes takes place. In animal it is known as juvenile phase, and in plants it is known as vegetative phase. This phase is prior to reproductive phase. Students, I repeat, kindly make your notes side by side while pausing the video. Write down every point I am dictating so that you can learn, or you will watch the video again. You will be able to understand my points with better convenience. Continuing. First phase we have discussed, the growth phase. Next phase we have is reproductive phase. Now, when various morphological and physiological changes had taken place in an organism while growth phase, now an organism enters into the reproductive phase, where the organism's body or an organism is basically reproductively active. It is marked by the end of juvenile or vegetative phase. I repeat, reproductive phase is a phase where an organism is reproductively active and the organism can produce new offspring in this phase. This phase in humans usually occurs between the age after puberty until old age. We remain adult and reproductively active. In plants this phase is different. Like in each and every organism on this earth, the length of reproductive phase, growth phase and senescence phase is different. It cannot be defined, but it can be easily observed by naked eyes. Coming up to next, we have senescent phase. Senescent phase is basically old age, where an organism is unable to reproduce. The metabolism of the body slows down, aging starts, the osteoporosis in women occur, the bones started to diminish and deteriorate. Various changes, various physiological, psychological and morphological changes takes place while we are in senescent phase, or any organism is in senescent phase. After senescent phase, or the after senescent phase or old age phase, the organism dies. Now, hormones are basically responsible, like hormones are the main reason for the transition between these places. When the level of certain hormone is high, or and in old age the certain hormones are low but other hormones are high, these hormones are basically responsible for the interaction or transition between phases of life. Coming up to next, now we will be discussing sexual reproduction in plants as well as in animals, and then also we'll be discussing sexuality in plants and sexuality in animals. Coming up to sexual reproduction in plants. Now, plants reproduce annually, biennially, and perennially. We'll be discussing one by one. What does annually means? Annually means when an organism, when a plant, basically we are talking here about plant. When a plant is capable of completing its life cycle within a year, like growth phase, reproductive phase, and senescence phase, whole process takes place within a year, they are known as annual producers. Means they'll be flowering. The plant will get the flower only once in their life cycle, whole life cycle. After in their reproductive phase. Examples are mustard and watermelon. I repeat, annual producers are the plants which complete their whole life cycle, that is growth phase, reproductive phase, and senescent phase within a year. Examples are watermelon and mustard, rice, and more such plants. All the, you can say, the crops of our farms are basically an example of annual producers, because these crops flower when we sow seed. These crops flower once within a year after producing, or after giving their particular cereal crop or their seed, or like rice, cereal, anything, they die and new crop is now then sowed into the farms. They are known as annual producers. Next we have biennial producers. What do we mean by biennial producer? Biennial producers are the plants which flower in 2 years, like they complete their life cycle in 2 years. I repeat, biennial producers are the flowering plant that takes 2 years to complete their biological life cycle, which means they take 2 years to flower. They will flower once in 2 years, and after flowering, after producing fruit, they'll die. Example, we have carrot plant and hollyhock. I repeat again, biennial producers are the flowering plant that takes 2 years to complete their life cycle. That is, they will flower once in 2 years. And you can clearly observe the distinction between phases in annual as well as in biennial producers, but you cannot observe distinction between growth phase or reproductive phase or senescent phase in perennial producer. We'll get to know how. Next we have is perennial producers. Perennial producers are basically plants which complete their life cycle in more than 2 years. Like they can take either 3 years, 4 years, or their whole lifetime to complete their life cycle. Once they grow, they start to bear fruits, flowers, seeds, etc. Example, we have banana, ginger, basil, tomatoes. Like all these things grow on a tree. Like we know, banana has a tree. Then lifetime it gives fruit to us. Once it get mature, it start to bear flower, it start to bear fruit, it start to bear seeds, etc. And phases of life cannot be easily distinguished within these plants. You cannot, these are perennial producers which take more than 2 years to complete their life cycle. Once they start to flower, when they grow, they start to bear fruits, flowers, seeds when they get mature. Examples we have ginger, banana. Banana is the most common example. You can see it with your eyes in your nearby any temple. This was about sexual reproduction in plants. Coming up to next, we have sexuality in plants. Like, what does sexuality mean? Sexuality means whether a plant consists of where a plant consists of which type of sex, that is which type of reproductive part, that whether it is a male part or whether it is a female part. It is divided in, on the basis of this, it is divided into two types, that is homothallic or we can say monoecious. Homothallic or monoecious means that male and female reproductive structures are present on the same plant, on the same thallus. Homothallus. Homothallic means homothallus. Thallus means base, homo means same. Like on the same thallus, on the same base, both male and female reproductive structures are produced. Example is of some type of algae, some type of fungi are homothallic or we can say monoecious. Next we have is heterothallic. Hetero means different, thallic means again base, means on different bases, on different reproductive male and female reproductives are produced on different plants. Example is Markentia. I repeat, homothallic is production of male and female on same plant, and heterothallic is production of male and female reproductive structure in different plants. This was all about sexuality in plants. Now, coming up to next, we have sexual reproduction in animal. And sexual reproduction, like we have studied in plants, there of sexual reproduction in plants is of three types: annual reproduction, biennial reproduction, or perennial. Like annual produces, biennial produces, and perennial produces. Similarly, in case of animals, we have continuous breeders and seasonal breeders. Now, what does this actually mean? Continuous breeders means that the mammals, specifically mammals, because here mammals are capable of reproducing, or they remain reproductively active throughout the year. Means they can produce their offsprings and give rise to their offspring any time throughout a year, so they are known as continuous breeders. Example, humans. The basic example is humans. Mammals which are reproductively active, animals which are reproductively active throughout the year are known as continuous breeders. Example, humans. Next is seasonal breeders, that is animals which are reproductively active in certain favorable conditions, such as dogs, cats, birds, etc. These are known as seasonal breeders. Means when there comes some favorable condition under which they go reproductively active, then they are known as seasonal breeders. Example is dog, cat, birds, etc. Now here are certain terms which I'll be concluding in the next upcoming lectures of this particular chapter. So stay tuned for those meanings of the particular words, particular definition, so that you can better understand and better perform. Now coming up to next is sexuality in animals. Now, as we have studied sexuality in plants, it is of homothallic nature or heterothallic. Homothallic means same base, male and female part on same plant, and heterothallic is male and female part on different plants. Similarly, we have bisexual and unisexual type of sexuality in animals. Number one, what does bisexual sexuality means? It means when the organism in which both male and female reproductive system, both male and female reproductive system are present in same individual, they are known as bisexual organisms. Or we can also call them hermaphrodites. I repeat, bisexual organisms are those in which both male and female reproductive system are present in same individual. They are known as bisexual organisms or hermaphrodites. Example is very common example, that is earthworm, tapeworm, and leech. All these examples you have studied in your class 11 chapter number 4th, animal kingdom. So you need to remember. Now I repeat, bisexual is where both male and female reproductive structures are present in same individual. Next is unisexual. Unisexual means uni means single, sexual means single sex, and bisexual is bi means two, sexual means sex present. Unisexual means the organism possessing either male or female reproductive system. They are known as unisexual organisms. Examples: certain humans, several birds, reptiles, etc. So people, I conclude my lecture number 2 for chapter number 1, reproduction in organisms, for class 12 biology. Thank you everyone for watching. If you have any kind of doubt, do mention it below in the comment section. I'll be taking your doubt seriously. And if you find this video a little informative, do like, share, comment and subscribe. Biology Today for you. And for more such parts, stay tuned. Thank you so much.